Already back on the 504 here. Got the tires pumped up. Got it all together. Coolant's in it, oil's in it, gas is in it. Look at that. Tack's starting to come up there. The fuel gauge, I don't know what the deal is with it. I haven't looked into it too much. The voltage regulator doesn't charge either. I got to get a voltage regulator for it. That might be in today, I'm not sure. But it runs real good. I got to get the timing light yet and check timing on it. I just set the distributor to where I think it ought to be, but I need to put the timing light on it and set it. It's supposed to be 21 degrees advance at high idle, so get that and see what, I got to get that from Dad's and see what it does. But anyway, look at this. Hot dog, it's moving. I had to put a little check valve there on the oil cooler. The old one was leaking real bad, so I got another one and put it on. It was kind of tucked back up in there, kind of a pain to change. But everything seems to be working all right. Power steering took a little bit to get it going, but it's going now. TA works. Brakes work. Oh, and the 3-point works. The PTO, it stays on. I think it needs some adjustment because it doesn't hardly stop. The brake will slow it down, but it won't stop it, and then it doesn't. You can't get the lever pulled back far enough to lock in, so, or to go over center, so I think PTO needs some adjustment. I don't know if I'll pull that off there again or not. I haven't looked into it. There's still some stuff to do. I got to retorque the cylinder head on it here once I've run it a while. Had trouble getting the thing to start, or I would have done a very first start part of the video, but I had stuff. You can see there's a different ballast resistor on there and everything. Had to get it. Some stuff wasn't working right, so. The fuel line, whatnot on there, new fuel line. But hydraulics work too. This is the fitting. I didn't have that tightened up, so when it deadheaded hydraulic pressure, it just spewed oil out. And you can see it's got a good hydraulic pump because it'll about snuff the engine out there. I say I had it, and there's reverse. There's second, third, fourth, and fifth gear in these tractors is extremely high. It's going to take a little bit to get the sheet metal all working like it's supposed to. I need to loosen those brakes up a little bit. And the steering needs to be tightened up a little bit down there on the spindles. That nut needs to be tight, that big old nut needs to be tightened down. Tires are a little stiff after sitting that long. tighten that nut up some more so the throttle moves harder. Right now the governor weights, it just keeps, or the spring on the governor, it just keeps pulling it open, wanting to go to full throttle. It just needs a bunch of adjustments now that it's finally out and running. It's the first time I've actually had it out and driven it around, so. Still holding good oil pressure though. But that's it there. I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel now on it. A long time coming. Well, I'll start fitting the sheet metal up now. Try to get that all, see if that'll all fit on there. Well, there it is, a little tin work hanging on it. I didn't fasten some of this stuff in because really I need to put that on first, and then the dash, and actually the dash is about the last piece to get fastened down. Put this white, this is painted white, and put all that on all the way around the tractor, and then just kind of build on top of that. Then the hood goes on last, and this thing sits in here like this, but I wanted to kind of get it set up here and put together so that I know what I'm doing after I get it painted, because you don't want to be fiddling with stuff after you get it painted, because it's take a chance of scratching paint and everything else. So I want to make sure it's all going to fit together. Got a few drips there, but that's from the oil leaks I had earlier. I'm not going to be able to use water to wash this thing off because it'll just rust right away, so I'm going to have to get some solvent and or kerosene dries clean without a residue or anything. Get some kerosene and just soak the thing in it and try to rinse all the oil off of it before painting it. Grill was not cheap. Shipped up here $361, but had to have it. And it needs a little more straightening. I'm gonna have to do a little tin work on it, you know, to make it look right with the rest of the tractor. But about the best I could find out there, so got 2 new headlights for it. That's the front weight bracket there. Missing a couple castle nuts on the tie rods on the inside, and this arm is loose on the spindle, so I need to tighten that nut down some more. Actually, I think I said that earlier when I was driving it. Got the battery box all assembled. I emailed the guy who I got the gauge cluster from and asked him about the fuel gauge, see what he's going to do about that. It was on eBay, and he emailed me because I hadn't left feedback yet, and so he ought to be on that pretty well about getting me a new gauge or something like that if it comes down to that. That is a nice thing about eBay. They always are real particular about that rating score. They don't want negative feedback, so they're willing to make it right with you. Because I always check that before I buy something, and you got to have like a 98% or better if I'm going to buy from you. I think that's probably about it for now. I'll get all that crap finished up and gotta adjust the PTO, and other than that, the next video will probably be painting it of this tractor. A couple people have been asking about it, so that's where it is, and it is running now and whatnot, and everything seems to be working alright, so get it finished up and out of here. So anyway, thanks for watching.